So I just realized I made a critical error in this when I'm checking for single blanks. The issue is that right now I am checking to see if I'm going to block an X player's move, but I'm always playing the letter O regardless. So what I need to make sure of is actually when I'm checking for a single blank spot, I use player to see which thing I'm blocking. However, I always play an O move in that case. So inside of this for loop here, instead of playing at blank X and Y, this should always be O move. So that happens there. This happens here. So regardless of whether I'm checking to see if the blank is two X's or two O's in a row, I always need to make an O move. And there, and the diagonal, and there. All right, let's see how this works out. All right, I make a move, O makes a move. So the next thing I'd like to see is if I play here, does it block? Good. Now I'll make another move and see if it plays here to win. There we go. So now I'm going to make the assumption that you can actually do the winning and tie code, since that is basically the same stuff as GUI TicTacToe. I've shown you the new stuff, how to do Android, how to do an AI move, and how to basically run and translate it so it runs on an emulator. One last thing that I should mention is that if you do want to run this on an actual phone, what you'll have to do is in the project setup, in the run configurations, this target here, once you plug in a phone, it should actually let you choose that instead of just the emulator. So you'll have to install drivers for your particular phone on the computer. We're going to be using Droid 2s, and hopefully we'll have that configured for you. But you'll want to prompt the device that you're going to pick, and then you can choose to either launch it on the emulator or on the actual phone. You have to make sure that the developer settings are on the phone, and I believe it has to be in USB mode. And then it'll automatically launch it on your phone, and you can actually test it on an actual device. One last thing, rather than system out print line, we have this thing called toast. So it's kind of like a quick printout that you can use for debugging your projects. So let me show you how a toast works. So if I go down here to where's the AI's random move? Okay. So right here, when AI makes a move, it's either going to play the So move or an X move, or it's going to play randomly. So what I'm going to do is at the very end of this, if I happen to play randomly and I want to see that, I'm going to do something called a make text, which is going to be, the context is this particular thing. I'm going to have my thing I want to print out, and then the duration is something that is built into toast. It's either a length long or a length short. And then in order to actually see it, I have to say show. So now if I make a random move, that should actually show a little toast on there. Basically a little message. So let's run this on the emulator. So play there, and then it says played randomly. So you can use this basically the same way you would use system out print line for debugging purposes. And then also you're going to be using this for whether somebody won or lost.